Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is your new host, Jeton. Actually, I'm the guest tonight, but I'm just pretending to be a host. This is the Efja show on Radio TopAfrik from the city of Hamburg, live, coming to you.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I think you did great.
Thanks. I tried my best.
Wow. Okay, all right. So before I go into the interview, I have a guest here who is actually wearing the same shirt that I am wearing.
No planning was involved, just so people know.
And I'm very glad that you're here. Well, if you joined us, this is the Efja show, and tonight my guest is a very interesting one. We've been talking way before we came on air, and yeah, he is quite an interesting guy. First of all, just introduce yourself to us.
Yeah.
What's your name? Where'd you come from? And etc.
Yeah. So my name is kind of actually hard to pronounce in German and in English as well. So my name is Jeton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ethnic Albanian. I come from Macedonia, which is a country in Europe, in the south of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have a new name, actually. We changed the name. So now it's North Macedonia, Republic of North Macedonia. I'm in Hamburg for 4 years now. Currently I'm working at the logistic department, and during my free time, I'm actually one of the reasons why I'm here mostly, and which actually got me to know you and each other, is I do photography. So I do landscape, cityscape photography,
mm-hmm.
and also I do portrait photography with, let's say, specializing mostly in fitness and lifestyle shots.
All right, so I have this quite interesting gentleman in the studio. He's a part-time portrait photographer. I chanced on him on Instagram, and I thought he was interesting. Now, meeting him is even, I'm even having the opinion that, hey, he's more interesting than I thought. So in our conversation, there was a statement you made that caught my attention. I thought, let me start with this. You said you've never met any African that is never happy. That never looks happy. Enlighten us on that.
Well, initially, the whole reason for doing the interview is as we talked previously. So
mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of work with African sportists and also African comedians here in Hamburg.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them is Mubarak Alidu, which I think he has been a guest here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And also is Captain Khalid from Tanzania.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is my whole reflection. As we said, I was also for a month in the Central African Republic. Like, people are just always happy. You won't see a sad face when meeting an African person. You will just see this perseverance and this positivity in their face. And even when they talk, they're more like trying to be kind to you and, to have courtesy towards you as well. And that's something that always strikes me, smiling is free, and I think a lot of people should practice. Seriously. Actually, laughing, smile, it's not just free, but it's like charity, Like, seriously. I believe in a way if you make a person smile for one day, I think you could die. You could easily die. You've done your work for that day, because people don't smile, especially here. Oh my God.
I think this is a plus to us. So for all the African people, well, if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you for joining us. This is the Efja show. My name, of course, is Efja, and of course, we are on Radio TopAfrik. Now, I brought this interesting gentleman into the studio to talk about what he does, and his perception about African people is what caught my attention. He said, I've never seen you never see them down or frowning or whatever. They're always happy, they're always positive, they're always energetic, and I think that's a plus to us. So if you're an African, wherever you are, shout outs to you, keep being positive, and I think the world would be a better place if we all tend to be like that.
Definitely.
Let's go into what you do. Photography.
Yeah.
Is that a difficult thing?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. Nowadays everyone is a photographer, especially with these portrait modes of iPhone 11. Like people, but it doesn't work like that. Just so that people know, I would say it's just a matter of choice in the end. If you choose to have a hobby initially, which then turns slowly into a passion, and then moves to become an obsession in a way, and you're just kind of obsessed. Like, let's just say I love.
How did your obsession with photography start?
Well, it all started actually in my hometown. So I come from, as I said, I come from Macedonia. There's this city called Gostivar where I come from, and we have this beautiful river called Vardar. And the river flows there all the time, but usually in winter, it's beautiful in winter. You know, it's full of snow and everything. And one day, actually, I was just doing photography earlier and all that stuff, but one day I decided to get a tripod and maybe just try, do some long exposures, like how would the river flow and everything. And the results were really nice. And actually, the people, I posted some photos on Facebook. This was like 3 years ago, and people went crazy, truth to be told. The album was, the funny thing is that the album had 300 likes and it had 800 shares. Okay. So it was more shared than it was liked,
Okay.
So the view was like, the snow view, and I think I have some shots of that also on my Instagram feed. And that's how it all started. So slowly you build up on that. You start to learn the basics, how light works and how the aperture works and how to stabilize the shots and everything like that. So yeah, generally that's how it is.
Wow. Okay. How long have you been doing that, and how long have you been in Hamburg? I think I saw a post that you did, something you shared on, was it your Instagram story, talking about whether people lied about what Hamburg is and what Hamburg isn't, and then you actually came to experience what it is. So how long have you been in Hamburg?
I've been here in February. It will be 4 years now.
4 years.
4 years. Yeah.
What is it that people said about Hamburg that isn't true, or what are some of the challenges you're facing as a photographer in Hamburg?
Yeah, as a photographer, the biggest challenge is the weather. It's I don't know. It's raining here all the time. It's seriously unbelievable. So mostly it's the weather. Especially, you can improvise when you do landscape or cityscape, but when you do portrait work, like with people, you just cannot improvise in the rain. Okay, one can try to be happy in the rain, but still it doesn't work in a way. So that's what the whole post was about. Actually, people were saying like, okay, Hamburg is great, everything, but they should have told us about the weather before we came here. Maybe we would have second thoughts then.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe we would go, I don't know, Italy. Italy is nice.
What comes with photography for you? Before you would actually take your camera out to say, oh, I want to capture this is the moment. How do you capture the magic moment? Does it come with creativity, or is something that if you go to the school of photography you get to learn?
Well, I think creativity does play a big role in it, and if we would go all metaphysical about it, you have a lot of sayings like photography is the freezing of the moment and all that stuff. It's all a matter of interpretation. But basically, what we do, it's like we're painting with light, because that's what the word photography from the ancient Greek language means, like photographia. So we're just painting with light in a way. For me personally, photography started in a way as a sort of a therapy, let's just say, when you would just be able to concentrate on the moment, because in today's life we're faced with all kinds of distractions. Waking up in the morning, checking out your WhatsApp status, your Instagram story, I don't know what, and when I photograph, in a way I get to be like in the moment,
Okay.
Like, and you sometimes you just, I've been here for 4 years, and when you shoot like the Rathaus, you then realize that, hey, this is the Rathaus, because all the other times you haven't seen it actually. You just like go there and you're not in the moment to be. So for me, as I said, so photography is a way of as a therapy in a way, like just calming myself. And the other thing which is very, very important for me is that photography has helped me to connect with people and to make friends, I would say, all around the world. Come on, we're friends now, right?
Who are your best customers? Is it the African people or the...
Well, in terms of portraiture, it's actually, the whole thing kind of started with African people. So I had some shooting with Mubarak, who is a fitness model, and the shots were really nice. It's not that I shot the photos, but people were talking about it, and they came out really, really nice, And then we did some other shootings as well, and then I had also a shooting with, as I said, with Captain Khalid from Tanzania.
Yeah.
In terms of the other part of the photography business, if we can say, is like I sell prints, The photos I take, I sell prints. And most of the customers are people from my country, so from the Balkans.
Yeah.
And people, you can photograph the Eiffel Tower, you can photograph the Rathaus, but they want to buy the thing you photographed where they live.
Okay.
Like the river from my hometown, they would buy that because, that's what connects people. So yeah, maybe if I go for a visit to Africa, maybe I'll get some clients as well to sell things.
Okay, we'll go into how you get to capture those moments, the best way you capture them. But let's take a look at your gallery.
Okay.
So that you tell us about when you captured that, what does this picture stand
Sure.
for, and all that. Let's take a look at it. Right here. Okay, so our stuff is playing with us, but yes, here we go.
All right.
So let's start with this one. Where did you capture this? This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is actually, that one is the place where I live.
Uh-huh.
It's in Glinde, so it's nearby here. Also, this one is in Glinde.
Okay, let's start with this one. This one.
Yeah, this is the classic one. This is the Rathaus in
Okay.
the city of Hamburg. So this is a place where people who love to shoot reflections and everything, they would truly enjoy. So this was shot, I think, obviously was shot at night.
Okay.
So I would just set up the tripod. I would just make the composition, try to get a good composition of it, and then just set the timer. And usually these are shots that are like 10 to 20 seconds.
Wow.
So
is because I know I've been to the Rathaus,
No,
but I've
it doesn't
never
look
had
like
a
that.
view of this like this. Like
No,
this is
you
so
cannot have
beautiful.
it because it's like a 20-second exposure. So the aperture of the camera stays open for 20 seconds. It captures lights and movement, and then you get the results that you see there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I think that's the most beautiful picture I've seen of the Rathaus.
Thanks.
And which one is this one?
This is also a view from the Rathaus, and this is actually a shot that was kind of controversial in a way. Like people were thinking that that's an explosion behind. Well, as a matter of fact, that's what's behind is this factory who emits smoke or cloud. Smoke, I would say.
I was thinking it's the clouds. Is this smoke?
It's smoke. It's smoke from the factory. So this was also a long exposure made during the day. I was just at the right time, at the right place with my camera and my tripod. And I just took the shot. Like I said, let's just test it for 20 seconds. It should be okay.
This is beautiful.
Yeah. And then when the
beautiful.
shot came out, it was like, boom, that's it,
This
That's
is beautiful. Looking at how the smoke was, it looks like the clouds.
Yeah.
And this one.
Yeah, this is the famous Elbphilharmonie, our lovely Elbphilharmonie in Hamburg that we have. So this is kind of the same principle, like a long exposure, taken of course during the night.
Where were you standing to capture it like this? Because I've been there before. Where
I
were you
think
actually positioned?
This is actually from the, I don't know what you call that. I'm not very good with places, but this is actually the terrassen, but not the Marco Polo terrassen, the other one. I don't remember the name right now.
Okay.
So from there you can capture a good scene.
That is
this
beautiful.
place.
That is beautiful. The lights and everything.
Yeah, the reflection.
That's a close caption. Close
that's a
capture
close
of
shot.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
Close shot. Wow, that's
So
beautiful.
these are mostly done, as you can see, like these are mostly done
In the night?
before sunset, during sunset, and after sunset. And some of them, of course, in the night.
Which one is
and
this one? Which one is this?
This is after sunset. This is Dockland. So Dockland, this
Wow.
is, I think, in the Hafen area.
Right here in Hamburg.
Yeah, this is in Hamburg, and it's quite famous also. I got lucky here with the weather because, as I said, the weather is really a key component of all of this thing. Because if the weather doesn't play good with you, I'm sorry,
All right. So if you're watching us, we are going through the few of the shots of Jeton, who is actually a photographer, and I think all that we have seen so far is right here in Hamburg.
Yeah, mostly cityscapes and landscapes.
My question is how you're able to, know which direction to shoot from and how to get the caption you want.
Yeah.
Do you imagine it, or
Of course.
like this one?
There's this concept of pre-visualization in photography, which is, applies to most of the photographers. So in a way, when you stand out in the scene, you kind of like, before taking the shot, you just have the idea of how the whole thing would look like.
Okay.
So in a way, you pre-visualize the whole concept, the whole view, and then you just set up the tripod and camera and just try to put the composition.
And then you get it.
And then you get the shot. And not to forget, a very important part in the photography part of these things is like the processing as well, because the raw files are usually not that, they are flat, but then you start.
This one. Which view is this
is
one?
the Wasserschloss in. This is the most photographed place in Hamburg. I think nothing beats this one. Wasserschloss is. Everyone wants to take a shot of the Wasserschloss.
Wow. And
this is
one?
the part of the Speicherstadt also. I mean, it's beautiful with reflections and everything. And the funny thing about these bridges and waters is that it took me a year when I came here, and I didn't realize that actually Hamburg has more bridges and canals than Venice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
this is also the Wasserschloss.
Clouds.
That's the movement, yeah. So that is the long exposure effect. So like you set your aperture for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
And did you edit this picture, or is this the actual thing you captured?
This is one shot. This is one shot. This is just one shot.
Wait, what's the cloud looking like? Was it about to rain? Was it late in the night?
It was late in the night, and it was kind of windy. And so when you take the shot for 20 seconds, the whole movement is being captured in the camera, and that's what
this
you
is awesome photography, trust me. I mean, to know that you're doing this part-time, on part-time basis, this is beautiful photography. So if you're listening to us, we are right here in the studio, don't worry, you see us very soon. We are going through Jeton's photo gallery, and for those of you who are listening, if you want someone to capture those amazing moments for you, I think he's the right guy. And you can see his social media handle on the screen. Jeton, which one is this one?
This is the view from the Nikolai fleet of Hamburg as well. Up there in the middle of the scene is the part is called Little Amsterdam, I think. So these are like Amsterdam-looking houses.
Okay.
And of course, I mean, canals and bridges. So Hamburg has these things to offer. Like, if you're into reflections, you should come to Hamburg. Definitely.
I'm seeing the beauty of a place where I live, and I don't think now I'm asking myself, you haven't explored the country so well. Which one is this one? Where is this?
If I'm not mistaken, this is the Stadthausbrücke. So this one is also, as you said, reflection. Okay. And there's this funny part, because usually when I go...
How do you get the reflection from the water like that?
So sometimes, the water is really calm. There's no wind and there's no movement, and the calmer the water, the clearer the reflection in a way.
Wow.
And actually, now that you mention it, the funny thing is that sometimes I do go out with friends, to shoot. And then when I post the photos, they would call me like, "Hey man, it didn't look like that when we were there." Seriously. Like,
oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, this is actually my most liked photo on Instagram.
This is what caught my attention.
Yeah.
This was why I liked you. I think I got to know your page through Mubarak.
Yeah.
But this was beautiful. I was like, wow, this is great photography. Which one is this one?
So this is a famous spot in the last year actually. It's called the window view, if I may call it like that. It was actually, if I'm not mistaken, it was discovered, so to speak, by Martin Browns. Forgive me if I got your name wrong, but so this is a view where you enter one building. I mean, you have to take risk. You don't have to ask for permission. You just get to the third floor, and there's a window which gives you this really nice view.
Which area is that?
That is the area at the Speicherstadt. Das ist Flitzschloss, so the restaurant on the bottom left. It's the restaurant there.
This is beautiful photography. Trust me, this is beautiful photography. And
this one actually, I wanted to explain this one. So this is kind of like, this is not a single shot. This is taken with an 85mm camera at aperture f1.8. Sorry if I sound technical. I'm just trying to explain things. So this is a combination of 20 shots. So like you take one shot, and then another row, and then another row, and then you merge them all together, and you get this.
Wow.
And in autumn, I mean, this area becomes really nice. There's also a railway track there. For the sake of clarity, the train here moves just once a day, so I know when it moves. I'm not about risking lives.
Wow, like I'm enjoying the gallery and everything. What works? I mean, what works for you? Because I can't. If I take the camera now, I don't think I'll be able to get the shots that you have. Well, you are mentioning some technical terms. Have you been to the school of photography, or is just something that you happen to have the know-how?
So mostly, I would say I'm just like self-taught. I would say mostly I'm self-taught just by watching YouTube initially. I mean, lately, everybody. I mean, it depends on what you choose in life. Like if you put your mind to it, seriously, one can become a mechanic just by watching YouTube, because you have videos like how to fix the car and how to fix the engine and all that stuff. So it's mostly initially from YouTube, like to understand the basic concepts.
Okay.
And then slowly I got enrolled into online courses. Like I didn't follow any like school, but there are a lot of good photographers that offer courses, paid courses of course.
Okay.
And you slowly start to build up on that. So like, you know, landscape editing, composition, light and everything and all those terms. And slowly you will build up upon that. So you learn every day. There's this famous quote actually, I don't know if it's from the photographer Ansel Adams. He says like, practice is really important, you know, because your first 10,000 photos are the worst. And then it gets easy.
Are you able to determine who is a good photographer and who is not? When you as a photographer sees another photographer, what would tell whether or not someone is good at it or not?
Well, I think there are patterns that you can, you know, recognize quality photography in a way, but in the end it's always a subjective issue, you know.
Okay.
But there are some, I would say, some important stuff like, I don't know, protecting your highlights. I don't know, that doesn't make sense, but photographers understand this. Like protecting your highlights, being kind with your shadows in the photography. So these are kind of like traits that you recognize, and then you do realize that the photographer is a good photographer or not.
All right. So I'm talking to Jeton right here on Radio TopAfrik.
GH where we come from, gonna be a mother.
I have Jeton in the studios. He's actually a part-time photographer, he says.
Africa representer.
The reason why I was actually tempted to bring him into the studio was because
Better land than
he said, I'm yet to see an African who is never happy, who doesn't look happy, who is always down or not energetic, not smiling at all.
the other mate like.
So I think it's a plus for us as African people, right?
Well, man, I'm walking on water.
And his works are beautiful. Now, if anybody's watching and they want to reach out to you, since you're a photographer and probably they live in Hamburg or anywhere else and they think they can actually have you come work for them, are you open to it?
Yeah, definitely.
So what occasions do you normally shoot for?
Well, I'm usually open for initially for portraits, like the sports shootings, lifestyle shootings, weddings, events also. Also this like real estate photography, like shooting objects and everything like that. So yeah, I mean they can find me on, you got the handle online.
Yeah, so on Instagram, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Just look for Jeton Aliji on Facebook and then you'll.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a vibe.
All right, so that has been it. I had Jeton joining me in the show. But Jeton, one thing before you go, you said you used to be a TV presenter and newscaster, right? Can you try something small for us before we go? Let's see how it's done.
Yeah, I should try it in Albanian, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, you know, the music goes down like. Përshëndetje miq të dashur, jeni me edicionin e lajmeve këtu në radio në TV Afrika, në lidhje të drejtë për drejtë nga qyteti i Hamburgut në Gjermani. Fillojmë me lajmet kryesore.
Wow.
Hey, yo, T.O., Wagwan, where you been? That's what they all ask me.
All right, so shout outs to T.O.
2014. Tell the people, man.
7 Crowns is what you're hearing.
My business.
Now, before this song, we had Motherland.
I'm back now, back on my crown now.
That's also a song from Men Like Stunner and T.O.
Your Snapchat.
As Terrio say is the name.
This track on your background.
7 Crowns.
Right the bounce to the death sound. Spread it out, homeboy, man, we out here. Still rolling with my team, and we know fit.
Before we go, have you ever visited any African country?
Yes, I was actually in the Central African Republic. I was there employed by a foreign company who we were doing work for the United Nations there.
Okay.
I was there for a month. And apart from the Central African Republic, so the capital Bangui, I got to visit also Cameroon. I mean, the transit route was there. And yeah, those are the 2 African countries I visited.
One word for Cameroon. One word to describe your experience in Cameroon. What would you say about the people, the culture?
In Cameroon, I didn't really have that much time, but I do remember one thing there, witnessing, I think it was torrential rain, the monsoon season. I mean, I forgot something to get from my room, and I just got it for 2.3 seconds, you know? And I was wet. I haven't seen that huge amount of rain like in a second, you know? That amazed me. I'm going to remember that all the time.
Great.
Yeah.
wrap up on the show, I'm going to be asking Jeton to say one thing to the African people who will be watching him, because he actually has a good testimony about us African people. But one thing he would like to say to us.
I wonder why they seeing no changes. Listen before you speak, earn before you spend.
But in the meantime, if you're looking for a good photographer or somebody to capture those wonderful and memorable moments for you at your wedding, at your birthday parties, naming ceremonies, if you're a model, if you're looking for somebody to capture you, just capture you, actually, that's the word, right? Capture you with those lenses and get you those beautiful shots. Jeton is your guy. What's the surname again, so I get it right? Jeton Krupa.
Yeah, Krupa.
So I'm good with the surname, not the first name. So Jeton Krupa is the guy. He will capture you or capture those beautiful moments for you.
I'm sorry, sometimes I don't take.
Why do you like to take pictures at night?
Because at night, the camera sees what the eye doesn't see.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's the first time I'm hearing that.
Yeah, that's how it is, actually.
Okay, so the music in the background.
Back up, you know me like I'm sorry. I can't wait to twist and go.
There's another one from Terry Say and Men Like Stunner. They call this one Good or Bad. The people who are doing this song are right here in Hamburg.
Oh.
Would you believe that?
No.
They are in Hamburg. So shout outs to you, Terry Say and Men Like Stunner.
Baby, how you do me like that?
I think they are the only musicians who are trying to make it right here in the industry as African descent or African people with an African background.
I hear it more often.
All the best, guys. Keep going. Keep doing it.
Want me to say that I love you, and not just when we having sex.
Now, before we leave the studios, Jeton. Oh, why do I keep saying Jeton?
Then good up
Jeton.
for better.
Jeton.
Baby, I gave you my.
Jeton.
Jetoni.
Jetoni.
Jetoni is easier.
Why Jetoni?
I mean, when you add an I.
Do you have people who call you Jetoni?
Yeah, I have some friends who call me Jetoni.
Ah, yeah. Okay. What's the meaning of your name?
Jeton means living.
Living.
Yeah. So.
I think that's why you are German to say you are lebendig.
Lebendig, yeah.
You're very lively. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your name speaks for itself, like your name.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeton is going to tell us something, tell the African people something. There's a message he has for us, maybe to encourage us to be who we are, because he really admires that. But in the meantime, if you're an African, since he loves African people, and he doesn't have anything against the color, if you're looking for a good photographer, Jeton Krupa is your guy. You can find him on Instagram. Jeton is J, or German to say Yacht, A-T-O-N. Okay? Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey girl, baby, you're so fine.
So what do you have for us? Your final words for the African community?
Well, my final words for the African community in Germany would be the same as the words that I would have for every diaspora that's here. Like, try to be the best version of yourself, and try to reflect that, and be aware that the way you behave and the way you treat people in this area will, in a way, have an effect on their opinion about that nationality or that those people, where they come from. So I think we should all try our best to be the best version of ourselves.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Too.
Because of what are you Christian or you're?
I'm Muslim.
You're
by
Muslim.
religion, yeah.
Okay. So what do you have to say to your Muslim brothers and sisters out there?
Well, to my Muslim brothers and sisters, I would just say, like, be peaceful, as just our religion is. Even though this lately is kind of hard to express in a way because what we see in the news, but yeah, be peaceful. That's the most important thing.
All right, be peaceful. That's how it gets. Do you want to end the program because you introduced the program?
Yeah.
So end it for us.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your attention. This has been the FIA show on Radio TopAfrik, straight in the city of Hamburg, coming live to you from the
studios.
From the studio
of
straight
Radio TopAfrik.
Of Radio TopAfrik, straight to your ears.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's all about photography tonight. I just had to talk about this man and his opinion about African people, and that really made me happy. I mean, to find someone like him, I mean, talking about color, who actually believes, hey, I think African people are beautiful people. They have great hearts. They are beautiful people. I think it's a plus for us. So keep being yourself. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe. Be safe. If you drink, don't drive. If you drive, don't drink. Very important. We need you to be alive. Until then, I think we'll get to see us. You were saying that you'll be doing your program very soon on radio. You should tell them about it.
Yeah,
if things work out.
If things do work out, you'll be listening to me very often.
Yeah, so if things work out, Charlie, you'll be seeing Jeton on the show doing his own thing, then he'll be in the seat. Why are we wearing the same color of dress? I mean, you're in a purple shirt and I'm in a purple blazer.
There's this word saying, like, if the universe conspires for something, it's meant to happen. So this is all universe work.
So this is a sign that this was meant to happen, right?
This was meant to happen. Inevitable. Inevitable.
All right, for those of us who listen to us on our online radio, thank you for joining us. For those of you who watched us on Facebook, thank you for joining us. But don't forget to follow our brother right here. He's on Instagram. You can find him there. Is Jeton, Jeton, and in German is Jot, Eton, Cooper. Jeton Cooper. You can find him on Instagram. Are you on Facebook?
Yes, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram.
Follow him everywhere. Get him to get you those magic moments. Until then, we are out of the studios. Thank you.
Beast in the sheets, I'm a type of guy, yeah, I like it naughty. The way you bite your lips clearly tells me that you're honey. Baby, get your honey. TT drinks, then they kick off. Forget everybody, they should piss off. Only you and me.